Okay, so welcome to this week's market review and expectation. So this is the dollar index, and as I do every week, I take a look at what I was expecting the previous week against what the market delivered, and I also talk about what I'll be expecting in the coming week. Alright, so let's head straight into the chart. Let's see what I was expecting in the previous week. So this is a screenshot of what I was expecting in the previous week. Okay, if you watch the previous week's video, I was talking about the fact that I was expecting price to, if it should drop to this particular line, which actually is the lower end of this particular fair value gap right here. Okay, that's the lower end of the fair value gap. You should get some support on there, and then which would take us to the high of this particular candle, and also reaching to this end. It's the high end of the daily fair value gap. Okay, that was what I was expecting in markets, and this is what the market delivered. Okay, price had closed on this particular candle. Okay, and indeed we dropped down as I was expected, but price actually went much lower than I expected. Okay, created a fair value gap on Monday, and then on Tuesday we closed in that particular fair value gap before we started to rally, or we started to head toward our targets. Okay, and this is the fair value gap I was talking about, with the high end of that. This one I'm expecting price, or I was expecting price to reach in after taking out this particular high. The next target is to fill in this particular fair value gap. You know, we don't call the turning point or the high in the markets. Yes, and there was something I actually had to talk about last week. There was this particular fair gap right here. Okay, which I actually forgot to talk about, but we actually dropped into that. So we actually dropped into that. Okay, before on Friday we had our down close candle being printed. Okay, all right. So where we are is actually critical, and then we are actually heading into the month of April. Okay, from Monday 1st, and then to Friday. Okay, is beginning of April, and also NFP week, and I'll be expecting, April. If you take a look at the seasonal tendency, which we'll be looking at it very soon, April have tendency for bearishness in the dollar index. Okay, so this our bullish stance. We have to be very cautious on that. This our bullish stance on the dollar index. We have to be very cautious, because as the last week's trading, there was not much of a movement. Okay, there was not much of a movement to take out this particular high. So let's see what this particular week, this coming week, has to offer. I'm still bullish on the dollar index, but just as I said, April is a bearish month. Okay, so I'm looking for some sort of bearishness in April, but I want to see that reaction in the dollar index before. Okay, so I want to see the reaction in the dollar index first. Okay, which I'm expecting in the coming week. Should we take out the low end of this particular candle? Okay, if we should close below this particular low, I would wait for a fair value gap to be formed, and then probably I'll get my retrace. I'll wait for a retracement into that particular fair value gap that has been created, and then I would look for a continuous drop in the dollar index. Okay, yes, so that's my expectation. Yeah, so I'm actually not going to trade. I'm going to be shorts, or going to do a short trade in the dollar index. I'm actually going to wait for a price to show me the reaction in the charts before I would actually go ahead and then go by the bias. Okay. All right. So this bullishness, just have to be very cautious on it because of how price traded in the previous week. We couldn't really take out this particular high. Okay, we just feel the reach into this volume imbalance and then we dropped. Okay, all right, and let's see what this week's trade market has to offer. All right, so let's go straight into the news releases to be aware of. So on Monday, April, okay. So on Monday, 1st April, that's Euro GBP holiday. So not much for those pairs, those currencies. And then the USD IMS manufacturing PMI at 3:30. And then all day on Tuesday, 2nd April, German Berlin CPI. And then USD JOLTS job opening, FOMC member Mester speaks. That's at 5 p.m. All the time is in GMT. Okay. And then Wednesday, 10 a.m. the Euro core CPI flash. And then at 10:15 a.m. we have the OPEC JMMC meetings. And then at 1:15 USD ADP non-farm the climate change. All right. And then we have others. And then at 5:10 p.m. we have the Fed Chair Powell speaks. All right. So there's so much. There's going to be a lot of volatility from Tuesday heading down to Friday. Then on Thursday we have to expect the unemployment claims at 1:30 to affect the USD, and then the 5:15 to FOMC member backing speaks, and then 7 p.m. FOMC member Mester speaks. Then on Friday we have the NFP, okay, not for professionals. That's the non-farm employment, okay, non-farm payroll. They're at 1:30. Okay, so let's see what the week has to offer. I'm actually going to sit on the fence. I'm not going to have a trade, even though I have a trade. I left a trade in the previous week. It's still on. I was a short in the USD, and I'm still holding on to that. So Monday, Sunday's open, then I'll just close it. So in the coming week, there's not going to be any trade for me. I'm just going to watch what price has to do, okay, and then in the following week we can have our stance in the markets. So let's take a look at the seasonal tendency, right? So if you take the seasonal tendency, the dollar index, we have we take the 35-year charts. Okay, we open here in April, and then we run it up, or we have a down close. Okay, open, this is open, and then this is the close. Okay, and then we have for 15-year charts, we have the open here. That's the one. Okay, we open, and then we have the drop, we close below it, and then we have the 5-year charts. Also the same thing, open here, then we close somewhere right here, which is bearish. Alright, so as you've clearly seen, according to the seasonal tendency, the dollar index is bearish in the month of April. Okay, so you don't just go into the market and then start selling the dollar index. We wait for the charts to tell us, yes, indeed, there was a shift in the market structure in the daily time frame. Okay, and then we can actually have confidence in our bias. But as it is now, the dollar index is bullish. As it is now, or it stands now, the dollar index is bullish. So let's see what next week, being NFP week, has to tell us. And then the following week, we go hunt for our bearish dollar, if we should get confirmation as outlined. Okay, so this is the position I actually talked about in the in the video. Okay, I have to take this one off because of where we actually closed in the previous week or on Friday. I have to take it off. I have to take it off and see what price has to offer in the coming week. So I'll take it off on Sunday when market opens. Okay, so stay safe.